Fire shut up in my bones.
It's a time of inspiration, a time of change, a time of transformation. It is indeed a time of empowerment. Welcome to Youth Empowerment Broadcast. In this program, you will be listening to a highly sought-after conference speaker, a distinguished author, an apostle for the youth, and the president, Youth Empowerment Network, with the mandate of helping young people maximize their youthful seasons. Here is Apostle David Onouha.
Fire shut up in my bones. I'm gonna let it burn. Fire shut up in my bones. I'm gonna let it burn.
Welcome to season 3 of Youth Empowerment Broadcast. If today is your first time of listening to this broadcast, please do well to demand for the recordings of previous editions so that you can follow our line of thought and capture what we have been talking about. Today in Youth Empowerment Broadcast, I want to address a very critical issue. It is an all-important question that every young person is asking around the world. What is that question? That question is, what must I really do with the youthful season of my life? This is the question I want to address in this edition of Youth Empowerment Broadcast. What must I really do with the youthful season of my life? What question am I addressing in this broadcast? The question is this: now that I am still young, what exactly should I be doing with the youthful season of my life? Now, it is very crucial that every young person will listen to today's broadcast because it can mark a turning point in your life. Today, I want you to know that the youthful season of life is a very crucial stage of life. So crucial that you must not leave things to chance if you must become who God wants you to be and maximize the youthful season of your life. The youthful season of life is a pivotal stage of life. That is when you must learn how to take calculated steps towards your future. Let me say that again because it's very crucial. The youthful season of life is a pivotal stage of life when you must learn how to take calculated steps towards your future. What do I mean? There are two ways to face tomorrow. There are two ways to face the future. And I want every young person to know that there are two ways you can face your future. You can face your future with anticipation, or you can face it with apprehension. I mean, you can face your tomorrow with expectation, or you can face it with fear. Who are the youths that face tomorrow, their future, with expectation? They are the youths that have designed a tomorrow where they can future. If you design your tomorrow and you decide to take calculated steps to arrive at that glorious tomorrow, you'll be excited about that tomorrow. But if you are doing nothing about your future, you will approach it with fear and apprehension. I want every young person listening to me this morning to carefully listen to the following things I'm going to say. If you can submit yourself to know the relevant things and to do the right things, now that you are young, your tomorrow is already settled. I said, if you can submit yourself to know the relevant things and to do the right things, your tomorrow is already guaranteed. Unfortunately, most young people know too many things that are irrelevant to where they are going. Why? They study things, they read things that have no bearing to their tomorrow. Hear this: when you know the right things you should know in your youthful season, it will help you to begin to do the right things on time. And when you begin to do the right things on time, it will help you to become who you ought to become on time. Let me say it again. If you know the right things you should know now that you are young, it will help you to begin to take the steps you should take now that you are young. And if you take the right steps you should take now that you are young, you should become who you should become very early in life. Life is in seasons. The youthful stage of life is only one of the seasons of life, and it will soon pass away. So stop behaving as if you will remain young forever. The youthful stage of life is only a stage, is a season. It is not going to last forever. All the old men and women you see on the street today, they were the youths bubbling yesterday. And I tell you the truth, all the old men and women we see on the streets tomorrow are the youths that are bubbling today. So you are a creature with an expiring date. Every youthful season expires. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter how beautiful you're looking right now, how handsome, your youthful season will expire someday. So we need to make appropriate plans to handle the seasons of your life. So make haste and do all you can now that you are young before the days of difficulty comes, as listed in Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Many young people are living as if their life is on rehearsal, as if the real life is about to begin. But I have good news for you. In case you are one of those living as if your life is on rehearsal and that the real life will soon begin, the good news is that this is real life. You better make the most of it now, because the game of life is already on. It is too late for you to back out from the game of life because you are already here. Since it is too late because you're already here, you must make up your mind not just to be a player in the game of life, determined to play it first class and to become outstanding. And the good news about life is that your destiny does not depend on anyone. It depends on what you do with yourself and what you do with what God has put in you. If you determine to succeed, nobody can stop your success. I will sign off here a little while. I'll be on break very shortly. I will connect back to you. See you when I return.
Have you read any of Apostle David Onouha's books? Rush now and grab a copy of his best-selling book, Maximizing Your Youthful Season. This book, Maximizing Your Youthful Season, by Apostle David Onouha, will help you to accomplish more now that you are young than most people accomplish throughout their lifetime. Maximizing Your Youthful Season will push you hard enough to do three things: discover yourself and uncover your destiny, develop yourself and increase your worth, deploy yourself and occupy your place. Available in leading bookshops or call 0806-885-1175. 0806-885-1175.
Welcome back to Youth Empowerment Broadcast. A couple of years ago, God opened my eyes to see the level of devastation, humiliation, aimlessness, purposelessness, and purposeless living in the lives of young people. I saw a picture of a generation of youths without vision and a sense of mission, and I discovered that the youths are scattered like sheep without a shepherd. Moreover, I came to the realization that not much is being done for the enhancement and empowerment of youths. This was when God gave me the assignment to help every young person to maximize their youthful season and to know what to do with their lives. Now listen to this. Do you know the number of unemployed youths in this state and in this nation just because no one taught them how to approach life practically through self-discovery, self-development, and self-deployment? Do you know the number of young girls that go into prostitution and are being exploited every day because they feel that they have no choice than to put their bodies on sale with all the risks involved. Can you imagine the number of young, able-bodied youths in prisons across this nation and around the world? In Nigeria alone, there are 144 prisons and 83 lockups, that is 83 detention centers, housing over 40,000 youths in prisons around Nigeria. Now listen, in Libya alone, there are 500 young people, young Nigerians in prison. Do you know how many of them that are in prisons in Europe and America? You see, in Nigeria alone, we have 144 prisons and 84 detention centers. I wish we have 144 viable and working industries. And instead of 83 detention centers, I wish we have 83 youth empowerment centers. Young people, hear me. Every young person in this generation must know that there is no systematic plan for your empowerment by anyone, not by organizations, not by the government. There is no systematic, there is no structured way to empower the youth of this nation. This is the reason why you must submit yourself to broadcasts like this empowerment broadcast, where we teach you what you cannot learn any other way. And then not just only submitting yourself to listen to this broadcast, also enroll in our capacity building training for young people, which we run. So find out how it is done and enroll and become part of it. For anybody, government or organization, to be organizing youth empowerment just to teach young people how to survive, how to put food on their table. Like I've said before, it is an abuse to deep deposit of abilities that God has put in the life of the youths. Now, every young person must subject himself to real empowerment that will make you what God wants you to be. Before I sign out of this broadcast, let me take every young person listening to me to the 3 things you must do with yourself now that you are still young. There are 3 basic things you must do with yourself now that you are still young. Number 1, you must embark on aggressive self-discovery. Let me repeat myself. If you want to maximize your youthful season and be the best that God has made you to be, if you want to know what to really do with your youthful season, I say number 1, you must embark on aggressive self-discovery. Self-discovery is the master of all discoveries. Why must you start with self-discovery? You are not here on earth to look for what to do. You are here to do what was waiting to be done before you came. All you need to do is to discover yourself and discover your placement in life, and the next will be history. The abilities you need to be all that you are created to be is already in you. So you start with discoveries. Every man, woman belongs somewhere. Unfortunately, only few people know the right place to belong. Your abilities to excel are already in you. You only need to discover it. You don't need to fabricate it. You don't need to conjure it. You don't need to assume it. Discover it. Number 2, what do I do now with myself now that I am young? Number 2, develop yourself to improve your value. When you discover yourself and the abilities that God has given to you, all you have done is to uncover your destiny. Whatever you discover about yourself is still a raw material. Raw materials have no value until they are processed. Personal development is what processes you to become a person of worth and value. So number 2, You must process yourself, develop yourself to improve your value. After that, number 3, you must deploy yourself to occupy your place. No matter how beautiful a gold ring is, until you display it in the marketplace, it will not be on sale. So you must know how to display what you have discovered and developed about yourself in the marketplace of life, so that you can occupy your place. From my next broadcast, we will begin with self-discovery. It's an adventure that we're going to have from our next broadcast, Youth Empowerment Broadcast. The next one is going to be from self-discovery. We're going to take it line upon line, precept upon precept, until you discover who you are. When you discover who you are, you automatically uncover your placement in destiny. There are many youths that are seeking for employment today, but the truth is that what God has put in them will make them bigger than the company they are seeking for employment. It comes by self-discovery. Hear the truth. Until you have discovered yourself, you have discovered nothing. Unfortunately, a lot of young people discover too many things, except the only thing that they need to discover: themselves. Through this Youth Empowerment Broadcast, from the next broadcast, you are going to discover the deep deposit of abilities and opportunities and privileges that God has put in you, and you will be the one that the world will soon celebrate. You can maximize your youthful season. I am your youth coach, David Onouha. Stay tuned to Youth Empowerment Broadcast every Monday by 10:05 a.m. See you in the next broadcast.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of it.
Wow! What an awesome moment of inspiration. Send across your questions or any contributions you have to Apostle David Onouha on the number 0806 885 1175. The number again, 0806 885 1175. Remember to join us next week Monday, 10:05 a.m. on 104.1 FM for another inspiring moment of Youth Empowerment Broadcast. If you are afraid to be different, you will never make a difference. God bless you.
The future is here. The future is here.